Yeah, tough loss. Tough loss to end our year. Thought our guys really battled. You look at the stat sheet and a lot of the categories where you really want to take pride in your team, take pride in your team's effort, your team's fight. I thought we were really good, really tremendous. I told them in the locker room, sometimes it's a bounce, it's a call, it's a tip, that just doesn't go your way that decides the game. Sometimes it's two teams that really were fighting to win, trying to win, thought they were going to win, and sometimes you just can't control what turns it the other way. And I thought our guys played really hard, really tough, really well, stayed together, and deserved to win the game. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, but I was extremely proud of them today.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions for the student athletes.
Jalen, a couple things. First of all, how proud are you the fight that your team showed against the top seed in the conference, and also what was the biggest reason why you guys had trouble making a basket in the final 7 minutes of the game? Was it just not going in? Was it the defense, or what was the biggest issue there?
First off, I'm really proud of how the guys played. I feel like this might be one of the hardest games that we've ever been in, and everyone played hard. Nobody wanted to lose. I feel like everyone, all 5 guys on the court, everyone on the bench, all the coaches thought that we could win this game throughout the whole game. I had never had a thought in my mind that we were going to lose this game, until, at the very end. In the last 7 minutes when we couldn't score, so just, they're a tough defensive team. That they're always good at defense, and but the other thing is we were guarding them a little bit too. It was kind of a really back and forth game, but that's all I'd say. They're just defensively sound, and they picked up their pressure the last 7 minutes and kind of made us stall a little bit. Couldn't score on them. So
for Julie, what happened on that intentional foul with Jeremy Hensley? Were you trying to foul him, or they just called it, or what was going on there?
No comment, please.
Jalen, on that last possession before the free throws came, you had to cut the ball at the top, drove it in, didn't make the shot. Can you walk through that play, what you were trying to do, what you saw, what happened?
We got the ball in. I looked up and I think there was 18 seconds or so, I wanted to at least get a shot up in case we missed, that we had enough time to foul them, and I think we were only down by 1 or so, or 2. And if we get up a shot quicker than later, then it would give us enough time to foul them and make the game a little bit longer, and make them have to make some free throws, put some pressure on them. So just to give us enough time to make them put a little bit of pressure on them and give us a chance to have the ball back.
Jalen, towards the end with the foul from Shane Rector, you made a specific point to go over and help Hensley, I think it was, off the ground. Can you talk a little bit about that, why it was so important to you to go over there?
I just don't want them to think that we're that kind of team, I don't think Shane meant to do anything like any damage or anything like that, but I don't want them going off thinking that we're dirty players or anything. I just want them to know we played hard, I just told them he just heated the moment, that's why he kind of did that thing, but, I asked him if he's good and everything, but I just didn't want him to think that we were that kind of team, so I wanted to make sure they knew that.
The foul calls on being a foul trouble with Evans and Taylor obviously affected the team throughout the game, but it seemed like you were able to balance that in the second half, adjust to get rebounds and still play defense and keep in it. Both of you, like your opinions. Was there something specific you were doing to do that, just being smarter, or what was it to be successful there?
We just battled. Coming to the game, Coach told us we had to rebound. We had to fight. We knew they were, I think coming into the game, we were +8 on the boards. So we came in with the mentality of we're going to out-rebound them, we're going to play hard, and that's what we were able to do. Even when our bigs got in foul trouble, we all just stuck together as a team and kept fighting.
Let's come over here first, and then we'll come back to you.
Julian, can you talk a little bit about this tournament? You've 2 games in a row now, you've really come off the bench and added a big offensive spark and been consistent. Just talk a little bit about your approach to this tournament.
Well, my approach, I was just coming in knowing that my role off the bench was to come in and try to give us a lift. Coaches had faith in me, my teammates did. They found me, and I was just able to knock down shots. So I'll just give all the credit to God, but that's the reason.
Julian and Jalen, can you kind of sum up this season? Probably not the results that you want, but you finished strong. You got a lot of returning talent coming back next year. Can you talk about where this program is headed?
We're definitely headed in the right direction. I feel like towards the end of the season, we definitely got a lot better coming into this tournament. I think a lot of people could see that throughout the game today and yesterday. Like Coach said, ever since the game at Wyoming, we've been playing really well. I feel like he said he wanted to wish he could start it all over with how we're playing right now. And I feel like if we did that, we'd definitely finish towards the top. But I feel like a lot of guys played hard. We played hard this year, did what we could. A lot of people know we were in games to the very end, and we just weren't able to win them. So I wouldn't say we're a bad team. We were right there every game, and it's heading in the right direction. We got some good guys coming in. We got good coaches, and I feel like every year we're getting better in the Mountain West compared to the first year. So we're looking forward to that.
Same thing as Jalen said. We've played in a lot of close games, just weren't able to close them out. I think we're going in the right direction. We've fought through a lot of adversity this year with injuries and people leaving, but we stuck it out. We never gave up on each other. Coaches never gave up on us, and that just shows the character of this team. So we just are looking forward. We just got to move on and hope for a better year next year.
Julian, were there any times towards the end of the game when you wanted the ball and maybe it didn't get to you?
Of course. Every player wants to make that big shot. I'm sure every other 4 guys on the court, they were wanting the ball too. But I wanted the ball. I wanted to be the guy to make the shot or bring us back in. But it just didn't happen, and we weren't able to close the game. But it's just how basketball is.
Let's go over here.
Jalen and Julian, can you talk a little about the free throw shooting? That's something that's frustrated you guys at times. I know you practice a lot on that, but tonight, once again, struggled, especially in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the main keys, I think, that lost the game for us. I think we missed 11 or so, and I feel like if we at least make, obviously 6 of them, we'd go into overtime, or more than that, the game would hopefully be ours. So that really hurt us right there. With all that said, I feel like we were still right there. We still had our chances, and that just kind of made it harder for us to get the win.
Okay, we'll dismiss the student athletes at this time. Thank you, guys. Questions for the coach? Back here, Coach.
Tim, what was the explanation when they appeared to call a foul on, I believe it was Cheatham? You were up 2 with 1:47 to go. You get the ball back there, it's a pretty big play.
Yep, no question. I thought we would have free throws and maybe the ball, or at least free throws. The explanation given to me was when they blow the whistle, they can go over and look at it, and they can take the foul back. And they determined that it was not an intentional foul, it was not a flagrant foul, and then they determined that it was not a foul. So, in their opinion, it basically becomes like a play on without the whistle blowing. So they awarded the ball to San Diego State, who had possession when they blew the whistle, and then you play on from there. So that was the explanation I was given.
Did you agree with it?
It's hard at that point to say because I had turned my head to look up the floor, and so I didn't really see what had happened. Lou said he had gotten hit, and so when we huddled as a team, I asked him, he said he had definitely gotten hit. So we were talking as though we were going to get the free throws and the ball, and we were proceeding along those lines. until Larry called me over and told me what they had ruled.
With the two other calls that were made with fouls that kind of put it in a frenzy towards the end there, what was your opinion on those?
I'm trying to think of the specific plays.
Shane Rector's, for example.
The flagrant foul on Shane?
And then Julian's intentional.
Yeah, the flagrant foul on Shane, he was going for the ball, and then as he was falling down, he reached out and grabbed the jersey as kind of a reflex action. There was nothing dirty whatsoever in that play. There was no intention. There was no anything. But they said when they went to the monitor that he made a basketball play, and then he reached out and grabbed his jersey. And in their opinion, that was a flagrant foul. But there was nothing intentional there. The intentional foul on Julian is really more my fault. We wanted to foul Allen as the ball was coming in bounds, and so Julian grabbed him, and the explanation given to us was that he didn't have enough to do with the play for us to be able to grab him, and the rule said that was an intentional foul. So there you go.
Coach, you guys have been in so many games this year, able to finish Wyoming yesterday, not able to finish today. The way you did play in these final two games, though, can you carry that over with a lot of returning talent coming back next year?
I think, for sure we can. I really believe we've been a very solid team since the game in Laramie. Said that yesterday and told our guys that. And I don't think, other than Fresno State, who won their last 6, I don't think there was anybody in the league playing better than we were. We let a couple of those get away. That's kind of our MO for the year. But every night out, I saw a team that was playing well, was playing together, and we had a lot of confidence. We had a lot of confidence going into yesterday and then today. That was a really confident group this morning when we got together, and obviously you have to keep your plan pretty simple in a tournament setting. You don't have a lot of preparation time or court time with an early game, but I thought our guys were extremely confident, and we're going to get those guys eventually. We haven't gotten them since we've been in the league, and I think to a man we all felt like today was the day, the way that we were going to get them, just the way we had played. Our style offensively gives you a chance against them. They're so good defensively and so long. And, I think it came down really, you guys touched on it, the free throws. I mean, we missed a few key free throws, and if we make those, and I think the play of the game maybe was when we steal the ball and have a 2-on-1 going down with Shane and Jalen, we don't convert. And it seems like always in basketball, when you miss a layup or an opportunity on one end, it seems like the other team always gets a layup on the other end. They got a layup and a foul. That was a 5-point turnaround in my mind. I thought that was huge.
Go there first.
Coach, after yesterday's win, you said rebounding was going to be a key in today's game. How did you think your team had to attack the glass?
Really proud of them there, and really the we didn't really make an adjustment at halftime. We just talked about being more disciplined. The first half, we were undisciplined on the ball. We kept giving up penetration, and once you do that and the ball goes up on the rim, it's a free-for-all on the boards. The second half, we did a better job of being disciplined, staying down, keeping the ball in front of us, and we were able to rebound. And then if you look at the totals, you can't ask for much more than that against that group. Out rebounded by 7. They're +8 on the boards in the league. So I thought I have no gripes with our guys' board effort. I thought they were tremendous.
Over here.
Talk a little bit about Julian. You talked about him yesterday. He's just been a guy that's come off the bench and been consistent these last 2 days for him.
No doubt. And like I said yesterday, when Julian plays well, we play well. And that was the story again today. I thought he was really good for us. Probably should have found him a few more minutes than we did, but he was efficient offensively. And one of the things I thought we did well, when you have to play them, you have to drive the ball, but then you have to drive it to pass it because they do such a good job protecting the rim. And we drove it well, passed it, and Julian, who's come a long way in that department, because in high school all he did was drive it and score it. He's really learned and become a better player. He penetrates, he gets it on the glass when he should, and most of the time he makes a play for his teammate when he should. I thought he was tremendous in all areas today. He was really good, and with the way he played, with the pattern we've had all year, like I said, we usually win those games.
Go ahead.
So you were proud of the board efforts from you guys. You had 3 that were in foul trouble pretty early on in the game. Was that something that just comes with the battle of the boards, or was that maybe a referee thing that you thought they weren't fouls? Or?
No, that was us being undisciplined. We had foul trouble early on with Lou and Quinn and Elston, and most of that was of our own doing, just being undisciplined, getting out of position. And again, we talked about that at halftime. When I went out in the second half, I was determined basically to play those guys like they had no foul trouble and just go from there. And if one of them fouled out, we'd go with the other one, and we could always shift Lou over there to the 5 if we needed to. I wasn't going to play the second half worried about those guys being in foul trouble, because I thought if they just were a little more disciplined, I thought we could eliminate a lot of those fouls, and we did in the second half.
Tim, you're kind of behind the 8 ball with 3.8 seconds to go, but did you want Rector to miss the second free throw?
No, we were, we wanted to make the free throw, and we just tried to keep extending the game. We were trying to get a 5 count, a steal on the inbounds, and then a foul immediately, and just keep going that way. So,
Coach, Chris Smith had uncharacteristic outplay, point-wise. Was it something specific that they were doing to prevent him, to shut him down?
Yes, Winston Shepard. He does a phenomenal job on Chris Smith. He just, his size and his tenacity as a defender really makes it hard. And he's not the only guy makes it hard for, but he really does a good job on Chris. And Chris hung in there and tried to get some things going. It's tough. It's tough when you're going against him.
A couple more questions. Go right there, and then we'll
Follow up from my last question. Do you think, although you played them as if they weren't in foul trouble, do you think that they were any less aggressive? Specifically, Elston Jones.
Elston didn't get as much of a chance in the second half, but I don't. I thought they were. I thought Quinn, especially in the second half, was really active, really aggressive. I thought Lou did a good job all day. I thought Lou played one of his more complete games of the year, offensively, defensively. Passing the ball, trying to make some plays for his teammates. He had one turnover for sure that wasn't his fault. And so I was really proud of his effort today too. Elston, I don't think in the second half really got as much of a chance as he did in the first half.
That's correct.
Now that you have a year under your belt as coach, is there anything that you would change or that you will change?
We try to, personnel-wise, we'll try to go into next year, with a little bigger group, and we still have some recruiting to do in the spring. That way, there probably is. I just haven't had time to stop and think about it. I think there's probably some different things I'll stress with our team and try to get better at. And I do think, hopefully I'm a better coach today than I was the day we started this year, and hopefully I'll be better next year. That's part of the process. You always want your players to get better from year to year. And, I think as a coach, you got to try to get better from year to year. And next year's group will be a little bit different than this year's. And, it's our job as coaches to accentuate those strengths.
Let's go one last question back there.
How do you feel about the Aggie fan support throughout the Mountain West tournament?
Hopefully we've had, I go back at Utah State to the days in Anaheim where in the Big West tournament, we would basically go overtake the arena in Anaheim with Aggie fans. And then we moved into the WAC, and we did the same thing in Reno. We went in mass, and we hope that, in the coming years with our performance and our team and our team's chances in the tournament, hopefully that, we can come and overtake this arena someday. It's a huge advantage. We played Wyoming last year in the tournament, and the arena was mostly yellow, and big advantage when you feel like you're playing a home game in the tournament. And so, we have great fans. Our fans' support is widely known, and hopefully starting next year we can get to where we have the outcome and the support that San Diego State had this year, that New Mexico has brought to the tournament in the past. Hopefully we can get to that level.
Okay, thank you for your time, Coach.